snowstorm.
Antarctica.
Ice scientists are penguins.
Antarctica, they're opening the abyss.
EurekaAlert.org. Rice University. Remember
there it is again.
The university that where the two people responsible, one for the Pfizer vaccine, the mRNA vaccine, one for the Moderna mRNA vaccine, were roommates. Right. Rice University.
Rice University has been popping up a lot lately in a bunch of different stories.
It's as if the Chinese were like, oh, rice, let's infiltrate.
Oh, Gonzo. No.
I'm Japanese. I'm allowed to say that, right?
I wonder, I don't know. It might actually be worse considering the racial tensions between the Japanese and the Chinese.
Oh, true. Yeah, maybe.
But I wonder if they have a Confucius Institute. I'm going to check on that while you do this.
I don't think I don't remember seeing them on the list. But
just do the story.
Rice University Geo-Biologist tapped for Antarctic drilling mission.
Geo-Biologist is not a real job. It was invented.
We've covered that.
Yeah.
Rice University Geo-Biologist Janine Ash is participating in an Antarctic mission that aims to recover the first direct evidence that can answer one of the biggest questions about 21st century climate change. How much will sea level rise and how fast? Which I thought Al Gore told us in 1995, but apparently this will be.
We should be underwater like 10 years ago.
No. But this is what she's being deployed for is to recover the first direct evidence that can answer one of the biggest questions about the 21st century, which is how much sea level rise and how fast.
I love this.
How much direct evidence. So they haven't actually had any direct evidence ever before, which they're admitting
right.
here.
And just in case you're new to the show, or if you're watching this clip standalone on the Clips channel, we've been tracking over and over about how pretty much every single official, actual Antarctic scientist who is in Antarctica studying says climate change is having no effect. And all these crazy things going on have nothing to do with climate change. And yet Antarctica is used as a victim in sort of the victim culture to lie about climate change happening in Antarctica. And yes, if there were direct evidence already, why would they be sending someone down there specifically to actually find the direct evidence? This is a big story, Gonz. We got to follow this woman.
I know. Yeah. Ash is part of the U.S.
Also, probably shouldn't yell that out on a podcast. We're not going to follow any woman. It's not what we're doing. I'm just saying follow her career.
In the context of the show, yes. Please, Clippers, don't take that out of context.
Nobody follow this woman, please.
Ash is part of a U.S. effort funded by the National Science Foundation called the Sensitivity of the West Antarctic Ice Sheet to 2 degrees Celsius Project. Wow. Or SWICE 2C. Cool. Which is part of a larger international mission of the same name. Managed by Antarctica, New Zealand, the mission involves more than 75 scientists from a dozen nations. Ash, who studies the isotope signatures of organic compounds, hopes to be selected for the SWICE 2C on ice contingent that will use specialized hot water and geological drill systems to punch through up to 1,000 feet of ice in 2 places on the periphery of the Ross Ice Shelf, a floating platform of ice as large as France. And it gets into it here. Can you hold on one moment? We're almost done. We don't have to keep reading this. So, I mean, unless you want to look at some of the details.
We get the point.
Yeah, we get it.
It's not really important. Yeah.
So I went into some of the details of Dr. Janine Ash, researcher, scientist, Earth, Environmental, and Planetary Sciences over there at Rice University Academy of Fellows. And she has a little biography here. And so, yeah, we did talk about the Geo-Biologist a few episodes ago.
Big job, not a real job.
So, yeah, I was kind of looking at that and seeing how she describes herself on the actual Rice University website. Because this could be another product of mainstream media, of like, oh, we need biologists out there. Yeah, but the only people going there are geologists. Oh, yeah, we'll call them geobiologists then,
They study the life of rocks.
Yeah. So this is what she says about herself, her little bio. I have a PhD and MS in geochemistry from the University of California, Los Angeles, which 100% was Confucius Institute. UCLA.
Yeah.
And a BS in BS, I always love that. Bachelor of Science in Earth Science Geoscience from the University of Arizona. In my work as
real quick,
yeah,
just in case, again, I know, it's just standalone stuff. Confucius Institute, in case you don't know, was a Chinese project to pay universities in the U.S. a bunches of money in order to establish
and provide curriculum for all kinds of stuff.
To establish an institute within that college or university that was the curriculum was purely pro-China stuff to teach Mandarin and all sorts of stuff like that, which seemed innocent enough for many years. Turns out it was a spy program by the Chinese government. Yeah.
So yes, BS in Earth. This is back to Ash here. Earth System Geoscience from the University of Arizona. In my work as a Center for Dark Energy Biosphere Investigations postdoctoral fellow at Rice University.
That was fake. No, that was real.
The natural abundances of molecules with more than one rare isotope substitution to explore how microbial metabolisms contribute to global biogeochemical cycles.
Okay. That's the perfect amount of big, pointless words to make it sound legit without actually saying anything. I don't know, man. I'm just joking.
I'm wondering what this Center for Dark Energy Biosphere Investigations postdoctoral fellow. What is dark energy biosphere?
What is dark energy?
Is she talking about like dark matter? Because that would be a CERN.
Well, dark energy is related to dark matter.
That's what I'm saying. So I think because when we looked at the CERN relaunch thing, an episode ago, maybe 2 episodes ago, it was about dark matter. Like, well, we'll actually be able to figure out dark matter or see dark matter or control dark matter, whatever it was, right?
That was the whole point of the CERN
So
firing
now we have this lady, PhD, well established,
under the auspice, under the illusion, the media illusion narrative that she's going down for climate change reasons, which we've already established doesn't exist and is used as an excuse to the public to do weapons training, to do all sorts of stuff in Antarctica. They just call it climate change studies.
Mm-hmm. And here's another connection too. My work takes me to sea. SEA, as an oceanographer, and while at Rice, I sailed to the Ross Sea off the coast of Antarctica as a member of the International Ocean Discovery Program's 374th expedition. I next sailed to the Gulf of California to study methane seeping from hydrothermal vents in the Guaymas Basin in the fall of 2019. As an interdisciplinary researcher, my work meets at the intersection of chemistry, geology, and astrobiology.
Astrobiology.
Remember we just talked
about that's stars by life of the stars.
Listen, remember we just talked about the scientist from Princeton or whatever that wants to go down to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean to recover what he thinks is alien technology.
Yeah, it's where the the real Evercube.
Right. And she's talking about as she likes to go to the sea and so with the outside of science and time at sea.
She is going down to get the Evercube from the bottom of the sea in Antarctica and use it for dark energy purposes.
It's all connecting, man. But this is wild, right? It's not just me like making things up. This is directly from her bio. So
no way.
This is a lady they're sending down there.
That's what's going on. I'm convinced. I mean, hello. I mean, if look, I get it. New listener or somebody just seeing this video, you might think, wow, these guys are really jumping to conclusions. What a crazy podcast. No, we've been following Antarctica and the things going on for just pretty much every week for over a year now. Something
probably
like
about
that.
A year. Yeah, probably
and before that, we've been occasionally, keeping up for 10 years on our other podcast. And so the dots are connected. This woman. So climate change in Antarctica doesn't exist, even though you hear about it all the time from the mainstream media. Antarctic scientists living there says climate change is not affecting Antarctica. That's why they're sending this woman to get evidence. But all sorts of other crazy stuff in Antarctica regarding interdimensionalities and lizard people and Nazi bases, of course. I'm not just jumping to conclusions here. This woman is going down there to open up some sort of portal. And
just straight up,
or harness some sort of.
She's helping. She's helping in the. They need. Female blood, and her name is Ash.
So they.
Ash.
Yeah, perfect name. It's such a mythical name.
I know.
And CERN fired up on Saturday.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, CERN fired up on Saturday, which we said keep an eye out for weird stuff happening because when CERN fires up, weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
Exhibit A, Occupy Democrats, total 180 flip-flop supporting deregulation of one of the biggest corporations in the world. Okay, if that's not a sign that CERN has opened up some sort of portal or reset the simulation, I don't know what else is. But then now we just happen to be sending this star life scientist searching for dark energy under the the lie that she's looking for climate change.
Well,
yeah, I think you figured this one out.
And if you think about it, the whole climate change thing, whether it's supernatural in the negative way or the positive way, can very much be just one of the lies that just exists until the end. Like if you imagine the days of Noah. I'm sure there were some if there were climate change activists during the times of Noah, they would have been like, oh, they would have thought Noah was a climate activist, actually, right? Oh, there's a big flood coming.
Said, no, I'm a geobiologist.
But now it's kind of one of those things where judgment may fall upon the earth, or the Nephilim may rise out of the oceans or something like that, and then the climate people will be like, it's climate, look what we did. We're so bad to our climate that we unleashed the mythological titans.
The kaiju.
the kaiju from the ocean.
Risen from the sea.
Yeah. So that's right. Where it's all headed here.
So a new discovery in Antarctica.
Penguins.